One of the worst problems we have with these old Harleys is that the horn sucks. With the noise of the bike and the noise of traffic, it's really not sufficient. We're going to change it out and see if we can't do better. To get at the electrics in this bike, the first thing you're going to do is remove the seat. There's one screw back here. Remove that. And there's the battery. First thing you should always do is disconnect the negative terminal. That way there's not going to be any accidental starting, nothing like that. We're going to shut the bike down first. Removing the horn seems like it's going to be a pretty easy deal. And underneath we see that the horn just hangs by two wires here. A green one and a black one. So I'm not going to worry about polarity right now. We're just going to pull them off. I'm not sure it even matters. So there it is. Pretty simple. Not too heavy. It's a horn with an air compressor hooked on. We're going to see if we can't just bolt it straight on and wire it up and see if that works. Also, it comes with a relay. The point of the relay is so that you don't put a lot of current through the switch, your horn switch on your handlebar. I don't think it can actually handle that much current and might damage it, so instead the switch activates the relay. The relay takes all the current, puts it into the horn, and that way you don't do any damage. Oh, I didn't know this, but apparently it comes with a sticker. We'll see what happens with that. I don't think I'll probably put that on my bike, but you never know. One thing I didn't anticipate was having to remove the gas tank. Here you can see it sitting on the spine of the bike. These are the horn wires here. We're gonna have to add a relay, and I don't want my relay over here where it can melt. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run the horn wires back along the spine and back to under the seat where all my other electrics are, hook up the relay there, then run my wires back and hang the horn from here. There's a couple more things that the kit does not include. That is, for a motorcycle, it requires a 20 amp fuse to protect the circuits. What I got here is a 20 amp fuse holder, a couple fuses that are going to go in there. And while I was at it, instead of buying a bunch of wire and wiring the relay directly in, I bought a relay socket holder so that I can just plug the relay in. I already have the wires. They're 51 inches long. Should be plenty for me to get from the horn back to the battery and under the seat. So now what we have is the wires from the horn coming up here onto the backbone where they connect with my wires to my relay block, heat shrinked here, soldered under that, and these two wires come down and they meet up with what's going to hold my relay. These other two wires, one's going to go to the ground and one is going to go to the horn itself. Next step is to add a 20 amp fuse in here. The wires that come from the horn switch here now run down, hook up onto the 85 and 86 wires, the red and the black one of my relay holder here. And the yellow now is the number 30, it corresponds with the number 30 on the relay itself. Comes out here and has soldered and heat shrinked 20 amp fuse holder, and then a connector here, and this is going to go to the positive side of the battery. This blue wire, the final wire, is going to go to the horn. We're going to do that one next. So the horn is going to mount with this bolt. Bolt goes in, you tighten it from the back. The next problem I had was getting this part, this is the mount for the original Harley horn, off. It wouldn't come off. A little bit of liquid wrench and loosened it right up, and I was able to spin it off. Now we got the bolt hole there. We'll put the bolt through here and loosely mount the horn up, then we're going to wire it. So I ran into another problem with this bolt. I put the 5/16 inch bolt through this hole which held the original Harley horn, and it broke off after I got it tightened down, so I had to drill it out. Now I know it's 5/16. I think it was actually maybe a little smaller, and that was my mistake, but that was a little bit of a pain. Okay, so at this point, looks like I got the whole thing put together. Horn's on there, it works, and guess what? Can't pull the choke out. That's another problem I didn't anticipate. I guess I saw pictures of them on here. Maybe they were on fuel-injected bikes, but this isn't gonna work. I'm gonna have to relocate the whole horn. Well, it was very frustrating, but here's what I finally ended up with. I put the horn back on, it's not connected. Here's the 20 amp fuse, here's the relay. Both wires run back to the back, and I hid the horn underneath my sissy bar. which I never liked anyway. That bolt is going to be covered up by my toolkit, which always rides right there. You can see the horn here. The ground goes to the license plate bracket, and we're going to take a look and see how it sounds. Boy, I don't know if you can tell, but it's very loud. It's at least twice, maybe more, 3-4 times even as loud as my other horn. So all in all, very frustrating, but I think I came up with a decent solution. Not the best looking thing, but it's pretty well hidden, and like I said, my tool bag is going to sit right there on the sissy bar. So anyway, thanks for watching.